Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. Today, our topic, we will be talking about the three deadly entrepreneurial sins you should avoid. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for taking time to tune in. I wanted to talk about three deadly entrepreneurial sins, and this came to mind for me because over the years, there's definitely been times where I've missed opportunities, where I've been, out of sync and not being effective as an entrepreneur, and I've allowed myself to fall into some of these things. And also, I've been in plenty of positions where I've seen entrepreneurs essentially commit these sins. Not that I'm not typically that religious, but there was just a kind of a good way to kind of break it down and help us understand. Here's the things that really trip us up. These are the things that are going to take us off track, and it's worth looking at these and then asking ourselves, have I been behaving this way recently, or have I done this in the past, or am I seeing this in people around me who have impact or influence on me, and how should I respond to that? So the first one is pride. Way too often early in my entrepreneurial career, I thought I was too good to do something, or I didn't understand that really to truly understand how to serve your team, how to serve your clients, and how to grow as an entrepreneur. There's often times where it's well worth doing whatever task needs to be done. One of the things that I definitely had a couple years where I didn't understand that, but as soon as I let that go and realized, like I can jump in and contribute just like everybody else here, that's when my team started to trust me more. That's when the work got done that needed to get done, and it just set a good example for how we need to show up as a team. One of the entrepreneurs that I admire and follow and pay attention to what he does is Marcus Lemonis, and it's I always enjoy watching his show called The Profit, because when he comes into a new business and he offers to invest and there's things that need to get done, he will literally roll up his sleeves and clean up the messes and fix the problems and get involved with whatever's going on while he's there. And he's a billionaire. So if a billionaire can do that, if they can do the dirty jobs, so to speak, if they can do the tasks that need to be done, then that's a great example to us that we need to be able to do those same things, not be prideful, step in and do what's necessary. Good morning, Acesta. Thanks for being here. So yeah, when it comes to pride, that's something we really need to watch out for. Again, being willing to do whatever work is necessary, being willing to do the difficult jobs, and even, being willing to go back and get a day job, get your 9 to 5. If you started something and your business is not working as planned, let go of your pride, do what's necessary, get back on your feet. There was, I've taken jobs between, when one of my businesses failed, I went and got a couple jobs and just did the work and did what was necessary. And there's plenty of times where I see entrepreneurs who are so hell-bent on not giving up their dream of entrepreneurship that they never achieve anything they want to achieve, when they're in a lull where they need to have the income, they need to support their family, they need to have a job while they build the business on the side. The other thing around pride that I always watch for is your ideas, my ideas are not, special or inherently good by themselves. Everybody has ideas. There's nothing special about that. And if you take too much pride in your ideas, then you will miss out on the key lesson, which is our ability to execute consistently and execute well on our ideas, the daily things we act on, the way that we show up, the work that we do. That's what makes an entrepreneur, not just ideas. It's good to have ideas, but ideas are easy to find. It's learning to execute effectively and do the work that's harder to uncover. And that leads me to the second deadly sin, which is laziness. As entrepreneurs, there's definitely times to unplug and relax, and we do not have to be hustling all the time. But when we say we're going to go to work, we need to show up and go to work just like we would expect a team member, to do when we're showing them, asking them to show up and do their work, and we're paying them for their time. Um, One of the things that I see entrepreneurs are the laziest in, and I would challenge you to look at yourself and ask yourself this question, because it's something I always look at for myself too, is often we're really lazy in our own personal care routines. And so we don't get good exercise, we don't eat well, we don't drink enough water, we don't get enough sleep, we don't have a good morning routine, we don't, prioritize taking, time with our family. And so we're lazy in how we take care of ourselves. And so then out of nowhere, we may have a breakdown. We may have a panic attack. We may have a health issue after pushing for so long and not taking care of ourselves, and actually being lazy in our self-care. Then things break and we get sick, or we snap at people, or we just become reactionary. So even though it feels like we're working hard and we're super busy and we're hustling, we're often very lazy in our own structures and our own personal care and the routines that we need to establish to be successful for the long haul, instead of just pushing for a few years. And so one of the things that I was talking about earlier on one of my TikTok videos is there's the saying, like, you should eat the frog first in the day, right? You should do the difficult thing first. And when we learn to do that and we create routines that help us do difficult things early in the day, it primes us to follow through on the other difficult things that maybe we don't want to do. Creating a plan for your day and following through on it is hard to do. And so if we're lazy, we don't create a plan, we don't follow through, we let whatever comes our way distract us, because that's more entertaining. But if we're focused, if we have the discipline and the structure and the routines that we need, then we can incrementally move forward on a daily basis, and we can stick to our plans to the best of our ability. Their plans are never perfect, but we can really show up with intention. And so often, again, in the entrepreneurial space, the laziness that I see is not taking care of yourself and not being intentional about your routines and your planning and how you follow through with things. So I encourage you to let that go, and make a change there. And yes, Assessa, you said, being a perfectionist takes up most of my time. When I see that perfectionism, in my experience, for myself and for those that I've supported through this, perfectionism is often an excuse for fear. And we're actually afraid to put something out in the marketplace. We're afraid to present something to our team. We're afraid to see what our customers think or what our audience thinks. Sometimes that's the case of it's really just fear. And when we're willing to get over that fear, and some of it, may be pride related. I know it has been for me. It's not a judgment. It's just how we are and how we operate. Perfectionism can be us being afraid to put the version that we have out today in front of our customers, our team, the audience. And when that happens, it's, we're just holding ourselves back. The best way to learn and grow is to put an idea out there, to put our product out there, to really just see what's going to work and what's not going to work. And when we choose to do that, then we grow faster. I launched a product and a business unit in 2014, so 8 years ago, actually like 8 years ago this month or next month. And the first version I put out there was super ugly, didn't work really well, had a lot of problems, and it was, it had tons of issues. I still launched it, and so I told my customers, the audience, I said, this is brand new, it's in beta, I want your feedback, but this is the new thing we're doing. That product went on to do $1.2 million. And I launched it, and it was ugly, and it didn't work well, and there was problems. But I chose to launch it and overcome that fear of perfectionism, of not being good enough, of like letting my pride of thinking I had to have something perfect out there, to make it work. So I would just encourage everybody that struggles with that, because we all do, to just let go of that. The third thing, of the three deadly entrepreneurial sins that I want to talk about today, is envy. Often in life in general, and definitely as entrepreneurs, we envy other people that have, success. We envy people that appear to be successful, because there's a lot of posers on the internet that, claim to be successful. And then, we also envy, folks who actually are successful. But it's not effective. It's not productive. It's not helpful for us to envy people who have done the work that we haven't done yet, and expect that we should have that result. I can sit down and effortlessly write an email, write a sales page, write a blog post, and I can do it effortlessly because I have written every day for years and years and years. And I am not the best out there yet, and I will always push to be better and better, but I have done it over and over and over. Um, yeah, Randy, fear of better options is definitely paralyzing. um, so your best option is to push forward and just do things. Absolutely. When we envy folks, though, when we envy what other people have, it's usually because we're ignoring our laziness and our pride. Because if we're lazy in our own routines and we're not doing the work that's necessary on a daily basis, then we want to divert from what we know we should be doing. And we're prideful and we think, oh, I don't have to do that same level of work, or I don't have to show up every day for years upon years to get the results. I'm smarter at this, better at it, or I'm just not going to put in the work. When we're not addressing that mindset issue, then the envy that comes out, we go, oh, I want to be like this other person, or I want to have what they have. And that's just, it doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't help us. And so I would encourage you to just be real honest about how you feel and what's blocking you right now. Where are you being prideful? I have to look at my pride on a daily basis and say, am I looking at this from a place of pride? Or am I truly looking at how I can show up and serve? Because it's such a different output and a different result. With laziness, am I being lazy in my own personal routines and how I take care of myself? Because anytime that slips, my business slips, sales slips, problems happen. So I have to constantly be vigilant and watch for that. And then envy, it's easy to want to have, for me, it's easier for me to want to have a $50 million or $100 million a year company, but I'm not there yet. I will get there, but I'm not there yet. And to get there, I need to stop looking and envying the people that have that and start looking at how am I showing up every day? What work am I doing? And how am I going to consistently build that foundation so I can get to where I want to be? So those are the things that really came to mind as I was thinking about spending time with everyone here this morning. I appreciate you tuning in. For all the comments and interaction, I just really value that because I want to make sure that this show is just really helpful for you and that I show up and serve you at the highest level. So I appreciate everyone tuning in and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow on the show.